What's up there, good people? You know what time it is. Time for that daily screw. That's right. End of the day, man. Finish the beginning of the week. Rolling into Tuesday. That's a good thing, because that means today's my last day of the week. Today's my Friday to y'all. Because Wednesday, I'm off, bro. I'm off. I think I'm going for a long, long ride. I think I need some therapy. That bike's the only thing, not just that bike, but any bike. A bike, it don't matter. That's the only therapy that really, really, truly works. You know, you'll never be free in this world, ever. You'll always owe somebody something, somewhere. But when you're on that bike, it all goes, man. None of your problems, nobody else's problems catch up with you. And you can only be going 10 miles an hour. It doesn't matter. It still won't catch up with you. It's like, no, you're untouchable when you're on that bike. No matter what's bothering you, it's right off the shoulder. The old lady nagging, the kids going nuts. You know, you heard the other night, I did Kids Are Like Dogs. And they are pretty much. Because they will rip you to shreds, for one. So, God. The things they say are unbelievable. And they have no idea what they're saying. They think they do. You know, kids think they know every fucking thing. Everything. And I can hear all the kids out there screaming, oh, ask Kareem, well, what do you know? Well, you know what? I know a whole fucking hell of a lot. 50 years is a lot of time. That doesn't mean I do everything right. Doesn't mean I have done everything right. But I've done a lot of the wrong, I know not to do it again. Like I said, they don't know what they're saying. The hurtful things that they say to a parent or a guardian or just a close friend, you know, they don't know that it's just the words that comes out of them. It does more than just how Mama used to say, you know, sticking and stones may break my bones, words never hurt me. Well, you know what? Words do hurt, man. Words do hurt, especially when they're not really put together correctly. You know, when you're younger, you got a different way of seeing things. You know, and of course, anything that you envision that's in your mind when you're young is the right thing. But in reality, no. It's flat out no. You know, my daughter's told me some things in the past that just cut me right to the bone. You know, and I hear other kids, you know, telling their parents things that it's like, oh my God, really? I know how that person's feeling. But the kids, they're not going to realize that until they're not a kid anymore. Plain and simple. And when do they stop not being a kid anymore? That's a good question. For one, they'll always be your kid. You know what I'm saying? But when do they stop being a kid anymore? When they stop wetting the bed? When they know how to color match their clothes? That's why I'm all in black. It's just a lot easier. But when do they become not a kid? Because sometimes you even got kids raising kids, you know, and just because you have a kid, that doesn't mean you're not still a kid yourself. there's nothing that pulls you out and changes you from being a kid to an adult that it just, I don't know how to explain it. Until you can feel, or until you have felt what you gave to a parent or a loved one or a guardian or what have you, and to an adult, until you can feel what that adult feels, then you're still a kid. And the kid will say, oh, I know how they feel. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you don't know what that adult feels until you have a kid and they make you feel that way. That's when you're not a kid anymore. But until then, sorry, no. Until you know what an adult feels by the words that you tell them, you're still a kid. And, I guess when I was younger, I wanted to grow up early. I wanted to be done quick. I moved out when I was 15. Had a full-time job, place of my own. Was married by the time I was 16. Stayed married for 17 years. Turned the key on my own business when I was 17. And they said, well, screw it. You was just a kid. No. The reason being, what's the difference? Well, the difference is I did what I said and said what I did. Until you can do that, you're still a kid. It's one thing to sit there and say, oh, well, this and doesn't happen, that. Until you can get down and get dirty and until you get all up in it, you're still a kid. And I'll probably have a lot of kids that's going to hate me out there today. I don't care. Flat don't give a fuck. Just like Daffy Duck, I'm flat-footed and don't give a fuck. Why? Because I'm not a kid anymore. I was. Because kids say, well, how do you know how a kid feels? Well, I used to be a kid, believe it or not, a long time ago. But I'm not anymore. I've learned. There's so many things that I did and done and said to my parents when I was a kid that right today when I think of it, I want to strangle my own self. Because it's not until now do I realize what they felt. That's because I'm not a kid. And I wonder how this is going to be felt or took or accepted out there. I hope it's on a good note, because it's not really a derogatory. I'm not cutting anybody down. But kids, you're going to stay a kid until you feel what a grown-up or your parents or any adult feels. And with that being said, don't grow up too fast, because that's where you learn, is in the trenches. And that's where you at, is in the trenches now. Work them trenches. Work it, baby. Get it how you live. But don't grow up before you grow up. Y'all people have a good night. I'm going to holler at y'all manana.